Hey YouTube, it's Ashley. I wanted to come on here and make a I don't want to say weight loss video because that's a process and this is a process. I wanted to come on here and make a video talking about some of the stuff that I've been going through lately, and hopefully to make more videos kind of in line with what I'm going through right now. So just to preface this, this process that I'm talking about, which is weight loss surgery, is something that nobody outside my immediate family knows that I'm going through. My friends don't know I'm going through it. My extended family doesn't know. Like, just no one knows. And that's totally fine. I do plan on telling everybody. It's not like I'm going to keep it a secret forever. But I'm just not there yet. I kind of don't really want to say anything until I have a surgery date. But I wanted to make this video to talk about what it's like to go through the process of pre-surgery, like getting approved for surgery. I have a hard time finding videos that really talk about that process on YouTube, and it's something that I find myself struggling with sometimes. And I just wanted to make a video and maybe help somebody who is struggling with the process and is wondering, you know, what do I do? What's the next step? How do I keep moving forward? So, a little bit about me. I am 31 years old and I live in Northern California near the capital. And I am currently, okay, let's back this up. So my starting weight and all of this, my heaviest weight was 298 pounds, which was sometime in the beginning of this year. My weight at the surgery clinic was 296 with a BMI of 46, and I currently weigh 288 with a BMI of 45. So I'm still heavy. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm still a big girl. But it's where I'm starting. So, we'll talk about that in a second. Some of the things that I deal with as a result of my obesity is I have hypertension, which means I have high blood pressure, and it is currently controlled by medication, but if I was not on medication, then it would be really dangerously high. So I take medication to control it. I have type 2 diabetes, which is pretty uncontrolled. I gotta be honest, I've really struggled with that over the past couple years, getting my A1C down to a normal range, and really dealing with the effects of my diabetes medication and the cravings and all that stuff. But it's been getting better as time has gone on. Still not where it needs to be, but definitely much better than where it was. I take a medication called Lantus, and I take a couple others as well that are pills. But Lantus is an injectable insulin, so I have to give myself insulin shots every night, which, I'm not gonna lie, it sucks. It does. There's no two bones about it. It sucks. But that's something I deal with as a result of my obesity. I also get numbness and tingling in my legs and feet. I get out of breath when I walk for any length of time, and it inhibits my ability to even just walk around the store sometimes. I also have chronic back pain. I had back surgery in 2015, and that was to remove part of a herniated disc, which was a result of my obesity. So basically, if I don't have weight loss surgery, if I don't get these things resolved, then I'm gonna be looking at the body of a 60-year-old when I'm 35. So it's important that I have this surgery. Some other things that I deal with, and maybe this is sharing too much, but I believe in transparency, so here goes. Some other things that I deal with is I also am bipolar disorder type 1, and I deal with obsessive compulsive disorder, anxiety, depression, mania, and also skin picking disorder. So yeah, I deal with a lot. And the past few years have definitely been about keeping my bipolar disorder under control, because that's where a majority of symptoms sort of tend to fall for me. I know that if my mood isn't right, then I'm not eating well, I'm not sleeping well, then I don't feel good, then I don't want to take care of myself, I don't want to take my other meds, and it just gets to be really a frustrating cycle. So I've been in a really good place for the past year or two, actually, with my mental illnesses, and I'm happy to say that I'm finally, you know, psychiatrically stable and able to sort of handle myself when it comes to my meds and my symptoms, and take care of what I need to take care of. So how I came to choose weight loss surgery was basically, my mom put the idea in my head. I had gone into the clinic about 2 years ago. I had gone to an informational meeting and learned all about the surgery, learned about the requirements and what you have to do pre-op and post-op and everything. And I gotta be honest, it scared me a little, you know, to think that something that permanent was my only answer. And I called out of my appointment. I basically said I wasn't ready, because I wasn't. And, you know, it was good to know that I wasn't ready and that I needed to take a step back. So that was 2 years ago. And just this past year, or just January of this year, my mom kind of put the bug in my head, you know, well, do you think you might want to go back to the clinic? And I got curious, you know, well, what would it take if I said that I wanted to have weight loss surgery? You know, what does that mean? What does that entail? You know, what do I have to do? And I started researching it and looking into it, and I was looking at a website, and I don't remember which one it was, probably obesity coverage or obesity help or something like that. And I saw a list of things that you could do after weight loss surgery, things that you could do if you weren't fat. And it just hit home for me. It made so much sense, and I wanted to have those things. They're things that I think about every day, you know, being able to drive my car and not be uncomfortable because of my stomach being in the way, you know, or have my legs be so big that I can't comfortably fit in my car. That to me is important. That would be really nice. You know, like, that would be a good thing. So after seeing that, I really just made the decision. I was like, you know what, I have to do this. I have to. And I called the clinic, and they immediately got me in for an appointment, for no other reason than they happened to have openings that Friday, and it was Monday. So I got in really quickly, and they took my measurements, but they took my information, and they went over all my symptoms and, you know, all the things that I deal with as a result of my obesity. And basically the doctor came in and said, you know, you need weight loss surgery. You need surgery. It's really straightforward. And I totally agree with him. Like, my case is so straightforward, like, it's ridiculous. But I still was not hesitant, but still just curious. You know, like, okay, so now what do we do? Like, now what does this mean? But I've been ready for surgery ever since that day that I was in the clinic. I've been ready. So let's talk a little bit about the process. So for most people, what you will do is you will go to your primary care doctor and you will talk to them about your obesity and your co-occurring morbidities is what they're called, the illnesses that you have as a result of your obesity. And they will make a recommendation or a referral to a weight loss clinic, or if your insurance company has a weight loss clinic within itself, or the network that you go to. So like in Northern California, I'm a member of the UCDavis network, which is really great surgical teams that they have there. I've had both my other surgeries at UCDavis, and they have their own bariatric surgery clinic. So my primary care doctor just referred me to the surgeon over there. Now, when you go to the clinic, they'll take your height, they'll take your weight. You have to fill out paperwork ahead of time that talks about symptoms that you have. You know, do you have sleep apnea? Do you have type 2 diabetes? Are you, do you have pain in your legs and arms? Do you have lymphedema? Things like that. And then from there, for me, the same day that I was at the clinic, I immediately saw the nurse coordinator who schedules the surgeries and schedules pretty much everything. Like, she takes care of all your appointments. And I saw the psychologist, and I'll talk about that in a minute. So then they made appointments for me to go to a nutrition class, see the dietitian one-on-one, and then another appointment with the psychologist because he wasn't ready to sign off on my surgery immediately. So I have to go see him again. So those all have to happen before they will even schedule my surgery, before they'll even give me like a tentative date. Now, you may think that that's like a lot, that's like, oh my gosh, that's so many hoops to jump through. Like, why do I have to do all this stuff? But it's necessary to really get you in the mind frame of like, this will be your life. This is going to change everything. And there's no better time to start that than right now. So let me talk a little bit about the psychologist appointment. Like I said, I deal with mental illness already, and I think it kind of shocked him that I deal with so much mental illness, and yet here I was trying to ask for surgery that is yet another addition to your mental, like, toll, I guess you could say. And he just wasn't really sure that I was like up to the task. And honestly, looking back, I could say that at that meeting, I don't think I was either, but I would say that I've definitely done a lot of work since then. And now I can answer a lot of the questions on his little questionnaire differently, which is really important. So I think I'm definitely in the right direction. I just need to stick with it. Which leads me into, what am I doing? So it's now the end of March, and I was in clinic March 2nd. Basically this whole month has been nothing but doctor's appointments. I've been really sick with some GI troubles. So I'm sorry. I'm currently having all of that checked out before I try to get all that done before I go back to clinic. So I've been really sick. So honestly, my weight loss has only been because of being sick and not wanting to eat or eating only like a liquid diet. Because I thought I had diverticulitis, which I don't. So But now sort of begins the real work of changing my diet, changing how I eat, eating regularly 3 times a day, eating when I have hunger cues to eat, and eating, you know, stopping when I'm full and I feel satiated, and all of those things. So it's important to, you know, get all of those habits in, and then they still want me to lose about 15 to 20 pounds before surgery. So I'm trying to have a good amount of weight loss before I go see the psychologist in May. So in addition to recommending that I work on some emotional well-being type things, the psychologist also recommended some books, and I have a bunch of them coming in Amazon, which maybe I'll do another video about those when they get here. So I'm going to be doing a lot of reading in the month of April, which is totally fine by me. I love to read, and I'm really curious about this whole process and about how I can be prepared and ready and do it the best that I can. So the first book that he recommended is called CoDependent No More by Melody Beattie. And basically I think he just wanted me to really embrace the idea that I'm codependent on food. Yeah, it's been an interesting read because most codependency is kind of outlined in like an addict, you know, behavior relationship. But food addiction is a thing. It truly is. So, you know, if you're a food addict, then your codependency is in a relationship with the addictive behavior of food. So, I really think that there's some merit in reading a book like this. And I also have been reading this book, which is Brain Over Binge by Kathryn Hansen. It's considered to be like the book for binge eating disorder, which is what I have, about changing the way that your brain works and using rational thinking to change the way that you respond to binges. And I can tell you, since I've read this book, I've definitely changed the way that I respond to my food cravings. And it has been life-saving. Like, I haven't binged since I read it, and that was like 2 weeks ago. So, it's definitely changing the way that I see myself and my food addiction, and really honing in on, you know, why I binge and why I do the things that I do, but without getting into like, you know, is it unresolved emotions from my childhood kind of stuff, which maybe it is, but right now I just need like real solutions. So this is really helping me. For my mental illness, I do have a regular therapist, and I do have a regular psychiatrist that I see. I see my therapist once a week, and I see my psychiatrist once a month to manage my medications. I am talking to my psychiatrist about reducing the number of medications that I take in order for it to be better for surgery, and then also help reduce cravings, because some psychiatric medications make you crave sugar and carbs, and I know that I've definitely experienced that. So I'm just going through the process of seeing what we can cut down on, but not sacrificing, obviously, my stability. Then with my therapist, I am in a support group that is here locally for me, and it has been really awesome. It's been tough to go because I've been sick, like dealing with a lot of tiredness and weakness and just not feeling good, but it's a bipolar support group, but it talks about, you know, different parts of mood disorders, but also, you know, making a plan for when you don't feel good and making a plan for when you're in crisis, and recognizing triggers and emotions and all that stuff. So it's all really good information, and I feel like it's giving me a really good basis of support going into this journey. So I definitely recommend finding a support group wherever you can, even if it's online, even if it's in a forum. I definitely recommend finding other people to talk to who either have gone through this surgery or who are like-minded. If you are bipolar, or you do have depression, or, you know, whatever it is, find a group that supports your mental stability. It doesn't necessarily have to be about weight loss, but it can be about, you know, supporting you as being a whole person and being a whole being, which is really important to remember. You know, you're not just a number on a scale. You are a whole person, and your weight is not even a part of you. It's like the teeniest fraction of you. It's a denominator for your health, for sure. You know, it's a very useful tool in gauging like where you are health-wise, but it doesn't define you, and it doesn't have to define you. So that's really important to know, at least I think so. Anyways, so I think that that's all for me right now. Like I said, I'm just waiting on a surgery date right now. I see the psychologist in May, early part of May, and I am just waiting to see him so I can get a surgery date, which is, you know, the end all be all, so that my caregivers can take time off work. I can be sure that I'm done with school for the semester. Like, a lot of stuff needs to fall into place. So yeah, in addition to all of this, I'm also going to school. So just need to have all of these ducks in a row, so that I can go about living my best life. And yeah, it's gonna be great. I know it is. So thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to see any more type of videos about what I'm doing, how my process is going, just leave a comment down below and I will try to make those videos and get them up as soon as I can. Thank you.